Alright, welcome to part 2 of this series. This is Eki, playing Prison Architect. I'm going to be trying to make a prison that has a working workshop, and I want to make sure that it's nice and profitable. So that's kind of the goal here. So I'm going to be really minimalistic about the stuff that I'm doing here in the hopes that I can get a prison that's profitable. So this is probably going to be where one of my main cell blocks are. But I think instead I'm going to start converting it into my workshop. Actually, on second thought, since we've got this so nicely fenced in, like I've already built all this out. So for the workshop, really all I need is space. So let's make another foundation here. We're going to put it right here. This is going to be our workshop right here. And I'm going to learn from my mistakes last time and make sure that there is a door leading out to there. And then also, so no prisoners can escape. Just tie these guys off on the fence there. And these guys are going to keep building. Let's also give this just another door. I don't like using jail doors everywhere because prisoners can't open the doors. So I usually tend to just go for these little $50 doors that anybody can open for areas that aren't critical, Obviously the holding cell, I'm going to have the jail door there. And then this has got the large jail door, and I'm going to have a bunch of cells in here. But this is coming out pretty good here. I need more offices still. So let's make another office. This is kind of a weird layout. I'll be totally honest. You most likely wouldn't ever actually come across a prison like this in real life. But for the sake of trying to get something minimalistic and profitable, we're going to kind of bend some of what might actually happen by using just basic game rules here. Usually it's a bad idea to only have one door here, so I'm actually going to, because if this door is open, one of the prisoners is just going to sneak right out of there. So let's extend this out a little bit and double door it. I mean, the main goal here is to make sure that the prisoners don't escape, because that really decreases your valuation of the prison. But let's check out the prisoners. What are you guys up to? Getting some recreation. We got Andrew Bolton, Simon Widely. This guy is really mad because he doesn't have any privacy. So once I build some cells, hopefully that'll help. This guy needs some sleep. This guy needs some family. So I need to build a visitation center and some other stuff for him. But unfortunately for these guys, I'm going to be submitting them to borderline slave labor while they make all of my license plates. So let's, I got my office built out, perfect. Can hire my foreman. And now that I have my foreman, I'm going to research prison labor. So I'm doing pretty good so far. I'm about, I'd say about 20 minutes deep in this prison so far. And you can see my prisoners are not happy. So they might be rioting soon. But they're just going to have to deal. I think one thing I can do to help them kind of relax a little bit is let's give them some more free time. Don't even force them to go to the yard. Let's make sure that they get plenty of sleep. I like sleeping in, so let's have them sleep till about 9 a.m. there. And at nighttime, I don't really care what you do, so they basically eat at 8, and then they've got a couple hours to just, you know, hang out, do whatever they want. But I do want to make sure they shower in the morning, because nobody likes a stinky prisoner. And I'm actually going to move this eating time up a little bit here. So that way they wake up at 9, take a shower, eat, and then they've got all day. They just kind of can do whatever they want, eat again, and then at nighttime they've got some more free time. Eventually I'm going to be taking away some of their free time to make them work. But if they want clean laundry, and if I want to make money, so they're just going to have to deal. They're in a prison anyways, and I think they'll be fine. Plus, it looks like they get to have some bacon today. You know, everybody likes bacon, so I'm not really sure what this kind of pile of slop here is. I guess they're having some slop and bacon for breakfast. And this guy, Harmonica Jacobson, is a pretty cool guy. He needs some sleep. Everybody needs sleep, so I should really think about making my cell, because my prisoners are not happy here. So actually what I am going to do, and this is kind of going against my original plan, but I'm going to build out a couple cells here. Because, I mean, if a couple of prisoners are mad, that's okay. But if all of your prisoners are mad, that's when huge riots break out and stuff, and, you know, prisoners die, and then you lose more money on your valuation there because the prisoners are dead. And, you know, I don't want my prisoners to come into a death trap. You know, I want them to feel good about their incarceration, I guess. So I'm gonna make a couple cells for these guys, because I think it'll be beneficial in the long run here, even if it's using up what little money I have. And so I made some toilets there. I'm gonna make a bed for all of them. And lastly, I'm gonna lock these big jail doors here. So yeah, I mean, cells are expensive, but at least 3 of my prisoners will now have their own private cell, and hopefully that'll make them a little bit more comfortable. Let's see what my bureaucracy... Ooh, prison labor is done, deployment is done. It's time to make the workshop. It's time to make it work. And... boom. I just want a huge workshop there. And in order to have a workshop, you need to have some workshop saws and workshop presses. And I usually like having a table out here, so that they just pile all the steel and stuff on top of the table. And because workshops use so much power, I'm gonna actually build another power station here. Which I might regret later, but I think this is a good idea, so we're gonna go with it. And so now my so one interesting thing is, if you have this power station here, and the electrical cable connects to this other power station, like, it doesn't really balance the power in the way you would think, so you kind of need to have separate little, like, circuits, you know. Otherwise, you can see this little meter here. If this red area gets all the way up, the power basically shuts down, and you can have the meter go down by building more capacitors. So I'm going to just keep basically these really high power things here off of the grid of just the normal prison. And also, I totally forgot to put electricity into my cell block over here. So they'll start doing that. And looks like I already got a couple prisoners in here. These are These guys are probably pretty happy to not be stuck in this little room anymore. They got their own little private cell. They can get some sleep. And so things are going pretty good so far. Probably want to actually hire a guard here, and one more for good luck. And I'm going to make sure that all of my areas here now have a guard. So I've got a guard in the workshop, got a guard in my cell block here, and then I've got a guard kind of in this main area. And then on top of all of that, because the workshop is a great place for prisoners to steal tools and stuff, so I'm going to put a metal detector right here, which hopefully I can. I'm not sure if I can build a metal detector outside, but we will find out. And looks like I can, so that's good. Metal detectors also need electricity, so I'm going to extend that guy out there. So now if a prisoner steals something out of the workshop, the metal detector will go off, and then hopefully one of these guards will search them. Speaking of which, I'm just going to do a round of toilet searches here. And sometimes in this game there's a light on top of the toilet, and it makes it impossible to click through to the toilet, so I usually just get rid of those lights. I would kind of prefer it if I could click directly onto the toilet instead of the light, but you know, no big deal. So now that I got my workshop is built out, which is great, let's do some deployment here. Looks like I can hire 11 prisoners to work in my workshop. But if I don't set some time here for them to work, they won't do any work. So let's let them get up, shower, eat, and then while their bellies are full, I'm going to make them work a little bit so they don't even realize that I'm taking away their free time, hopefully. And then they'll get another couple hours of free time, and then they'll eat again, and that'll be good. So I usually do big blocks of work because of the way laundry works. Sometimes it's better to have them work 4 hours in a row instead of like 1 hour here and 1 hour there. Excuse me. So let's start building out a laundromat. I'm gonna actually use this area here for the laundromat. So you can hear the prisoners are kind of yelling a little bit. And when they're jumping around like that, it's usually bad news. Yeah, okay, so things are going bad here. We're going to have to... I'm hiring a couple more guards, hopefully to... Oh no, that guy just stole the keys. He's going to escape. He's escaping. Griffin just took keys from my guard and escaped. Oh, man. So now my workers are repairing stuff. One of my guards is unconscious. So, man. I think next time I do this, I'm going to have to expand out the cell block a little earlier. Well, let's try not to let that deter me too much. And let's build a little laundry area here. So while those guys are building out, it's also a laundry mat, or laundry needs a laundry machine, and an ironing board, and some laundry baskets. Oh, that's a TV. Laundry baskets. Speaking of which, since my prisoners are so unhappy, I'm gonna make a common room. put some TVs and a couple phone booths here, which will hopefully help deter them from fucking beating up one of my guards and stealing his keys and escaping. What the? Ah, that was awful, man. He just beelined right out of here. It was, I mean, pretty good plan. He set this whole distraction up over here. And while the guards were fighting him, he knocked one of my guards unconscious, stole his keys, and then just like ran out of here. Even with my double door, I mean, the only way I could have stopped that is if I just, you know, kept my prisoners a little happier. Or maybe if I had some dogs to chase them down. They wouldn't have gotten so far. But gotta give my laundry machine some electricity. So it looks like I'm over time here, so I'm gonna stop this for now. This is Prison Architect, Eki, and we'll start part 3 next.